Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. How's Eddie Frederick?
So glad you can join us. The world is still in the middle of the pandemic with the power in their hands to end it in 2022. This story takes the lead in today's edition of Caribbean Perspective for Tuesday, 28th December 2021. Details when we return.
Conveniently located in the Grand Anne Shopping Centre, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair Grand Anse will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
Welcome back. The World Health Organization's technical lead is convinced that the world is still very much in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, with all the countries having the power in their hands to end it in 2022. More in this international news report.
Dr. Maria Van Kerkhove said vaccine equity must be a priority for every single government.
We need to also be able to use tools to drive transmission down, because if we don't, we will continue to see the virus change and the virus threaten us in ways that will bring us closer to the beginning rather than closer to the end. What we are learning about Omicron is certainly we have this increased transmission, but the information on severity is still uncertain. We don't have that complete picture yet, and it is too early to conclude whether or not Omicron is less severe than Delta or is as severe as Delta. Now, we do have some data suggesting that rates of hospitalization are lower, some information that people who are hospitalized don't need as much oxygen or invasive ventilation. But again, we have not seen this variant circulate for long enough in populations around the world, certainly in vulnerable populations. We did learn some information this week that Omicron, as it enters older age groups, older people with Omicron tend to have more severe disease. That's unsurprising. We know people have died from Omicron. It's too early to conclude.
Meanwhile, hospital officials in Bermuda are on alert as COVID-19 cases spike as a result of the Omicron variant. Bermuda Broadcasting has more in this report.
Bermuda's hospitals saw more pressure than ever before during the fourth wave of coronavirus infections 3 months ago. They are once more on alert following a sudden spike in cases driven by the new Omicron variant. A new UK study suggests that Omicron is 50 to 70% less likely to cause hospitalizations. There is, however, uncertainty about what will happen to older age groups, since current infections and hospitalizations in the UK are mostly under 40 years old. Here in Bermuda, hospital CEO Dr. Michael Richmond revealed that 6 months of intensive care drugs were used up in just 6 weeks during our last outbreak. What did the hospital learn from that outbreak if we ever face that same influx again? Because the hospital had never faced that before.
No, the expert staff that we have worked long and hard, day after day, and were supported by staff who were redeployed from other areas, and that would continue to be the mainstay of our plan. But we're also reaching out to the UK. We believe that we have support from an agency in the UK to supply a limited number of intensive care and emergency staff.
Dr. Richmond said the hospital is well stocked with physical equipment such as ventilators and beds, and has restocked on COVID treatment drugs, although some emerging antiviral drugs are not yet on island.
Omicron variant may be in Jamaica after visiting tourists tested positive after leaving the island. More in this Television Jamaica news item.
There are several conclusions that can be drawn from this, to include the fact that persons may have been infected by others within the population, or this particular individual could have interacted sufficiently while here to infect or contaminate others. In other words, I think it is best from a planning, from a precautionary perspective, to conclude that Omicron is here within our population.
Health experts say the Omicron variant is a highly transmissible strain. Dr. Tofton says the country's vaccination rate remains low. Therefore, the health ministry will be ramping up efforts to prepare for an anticipated fourth wave of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The preparation that we are putting in place for hospitalization, up to this point, we have one additional field hospital, Sablamar, to finish hopefully by the end of the year. We will have approximately 1,200 beds to support inpatient care for COVID cases. We do have step-down facilities, so where you don't need hospitalization, you stay in other facilities, including being at home with support. But where hospitalization is needed, we have up to 1,200 beds, and I think it's important to make that clear. We cannot, I'm sure, transition other beds, but it will be at a severe cost to other persons who need critical care, which means ultimately you're going to have to give, and someone will suffer if we were to go beyond that.
In the meantime, there were no new deaths from the coronavirus in Jamaica on Tuesday. The country's overall death toll remains at 2,450. Jamaica recorded 99 new COVID-19 cases from 1,702 test samples, bringing the total case count to 92,226. The positivity rate is 6.8%. Hospitalizations continue to be below 100. 96 people are being treated for the virus in hospitals across the island. 12 of the patients are severely ill, while one is in critical condition. There are 428 active cases on the island. In the meantime, 134 more people recovered from the respiratory illness, pushing the overall recovery count to 64,434.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
Trinidad's Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs, as well as leader of the United National Congress, Kamla Persad-Bissessar, are among those expressing sadness over the passing of Nobel Peace Prize laureate Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. TV6's Alicia Boucher has the details.
Minister of Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Dr. Amy Brown says he is deeply saddened by the news, the passing of Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He describes Archbishop Tutu as a shining light of humanity, an inspiration, and a central figure who stood alongside Nelson Mandela in the fight against apartheid. The minister says, quote, "A truly humble yet iconic figure, Archbishop Tutu stood out as a voice of reason when he stood against the Gulf War and on numerous other occasions when he embodied the conscience of the world. He was a good friend of Trinidad and Tobago, having described our country positively to the world as the true rainbow nation after visiting our shores. Trinbagonians from all walks of life will remember him fondly and with enduring admiration. May he rest in peace, and may his family find divine comfort at this time." End quote. Meanwhile, opposition leader Kamla Persad-Bissessar is expressing similar sentiments, saying news of Archbishop Tutu's death brought her great sadness. According to Persad-Bissessar, even after the end of apartheid in the early 1990s, Archbishop Tutu continued to be a beacon of hope to South Africans by spearheading the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, which she says helped to heal the country by confronting the heinous crimes which took place under the apartheid regime. She says, quote, While we mourn the passing of this great religious icon, let us also celebrate the ideals and the principles for which he fought: equality, peace, truth, and justice. As chairman of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, he fought to ensure the evil ideology of racial segregation must never be allowed to ever happen again. Unquote. Passad Bissessa is sending condolences to Archbishop Tutu's wife, Leah Tutu, and their family, as well as to the people of South Africa. Alicia Boucher, TV6 News.
The most serious challenge for Guyana's People's National Congress Reform, PNCR, is unifying the party, according to the newly elected chairman.
The most serious challenge at this point in time is unifying the party. I see that as the biggest challenge. That is the biggest challenge right now.
Holder, who became the chairman of the party less than a week ago, said that he, like the party's leader Aubrey Norton, envisions a stronger together PNCR. But to achieve this, there must be unison within the party. To accomplish this goal, Holder said that the hierarchy of the party are already in the process of adjusting the executive member committee to include other members apart from those who were elected.
Because the constitution allows him to co-opt persons to the executive. Other than the elected executive, the leader and the central exec, of course, can co-opt certain amount of persons. And so we've already begun to discuss that. We've already begun that process, asking persons from the other sides, the persons who would have campaigned against us on the Harmon team and with the others, Van West Charles and so. And we've already started that.
So far, Dr. Richard Van West Charles and Walter Lawrence are both functioning as advisors in the party. The announcement of their new roles was made by Aubrey Norton on Monday during the 21st Biannual Delegates Congress Declaration and Inauguration Ceremony. At that forum, Norton had noted that it was time for the party members to come together to get the PNCR back in government. On another note, Holder stated that he also has plans of reforming the party's local groups.
We got to reform, do a lot of reform within the regions and the districts and at the group level. And I would get to work on that immediately.
Apart from unifying the party, Holder also highlighted that another challenge will be sourcing funds to repair Congress Place. For the HDP 90 News, Kendall Richmond.
Conveniently located in the Grand Shopping Center, for over 40 years, Food Fair has provided quality service at affordable prices. Now, grocery shopping is made easier and more convenient from the Food Fair web store.
Hey, babe. Listen, I need you to go down to Food Fair to get some groceries.
All right, no problem. Right away.
Thanks, babe. What are you doing? You're supposed to be going Food Fair to get a grocery, man.
I am, but didn't you know you can order your groceries online from the Food Fair web store?
Are you serious?
Of course. All you have to do is just to log on to www.foodfair.gd with credit card in hand, and with an order of $100 or more, Food Fair grants will deliver up to 3 miles away. And you don't even have to worry about your information, you know. Their safety measures are excellent.
So hold on. You just order online and Food Fair will deliver to you?
Yep.
Oh, baby, better hurry up and order, man.
I already did. They should be here any minute now.
Enjoy easy online shopping anytime from your home or office from the Food Fair web store. Food Fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.